I'm not gonna lie, this topic makes me kind of upset, but it is something that I feel we need to talk about. Especially for myself, just a Vancouver guy sitting here thinking about the Vancouver Canucks and what they're gonna do heading into the draft and the offseason. But the reason this idea pisses me off is because it falls in line on the scale of things that could have happened, and it places itself smack dab in the middle of that scale. Now, what exactly am I talking about here? Well, I wanted to talk about a scale between the Vancouver Canucks going for it and being good, or sucking and being bad. This scale, you can think of it as a line. On one side, you have the Canucks being bad and being at the bottom of the league, and on the other side, you could have the Vancouver Canucks being good and being near the top of the contenders list. Now we know that the Canucks, in terms of this scale, are not anywhere near any of the ends. They are not fantastically amazing, they're not terribly bad. But where they are is smack dab at the 2/3 mark of the being bad side. And the reason I say this is because if you go over to Tankathon and you look at the NHL's draft lottery odds, you could see that the Vancouver Canucks are 11th overall in terms of the odds. They have themselves a chance at getting the first overall pick, but the new NHL rules in the draft say that teams are only allowed to move up a maximum of 10 spots. So, this means that Vancouver, if they moved up 10 spots, has the potential to move up to first overall. However, they do have the lowest odds possible. Let's talk today about the first overall projected pick, Connor Bedard, and the idea of the Vancouver Canucks being able to draft this guy. Now, as it stands so far, the Canucks, as we had said, have the lowest odds of getting the first overall pick. They have a 3% chance at moving up to number 1. Now, you could say, hey, 3%, that's still a percent, like he still has the chance to come to Vancouver, right? And that's correct. Technically, it would be foolish to completely dismiss the idea of the Vancouver Canucks winning the draft lottery. Everybody's got a chance, right? But of course, every other team has a chance too. The Blues have a 3.5% chance, the Red Wings a 5% chance, Washington 6% chance, Philadelphia 6.5, Arizona 7.5, Montreal 8.5, San Jose 9.5, and then it's all 0.5s up in there. Chicago 11.5, Columbus 13.5, and Anaheim has a 25.5% chance at getting Connor Bedard. Now, I don't know about you, but if Anaheim was a casino game, a 1 in 4 chance wouldn't be all too bad. Just saying. And so, with the Vancouver Canucks literally being last place in the Bedard lottery odds, it's really difficult to try to project what's going to happen here. The Vancouver Canucks are more than likely to stay put at 11th overall, see some of the teams on top of them get top picks and not really participate in any lottery ball action themselves. But with the Vancouver Canucks season going the way that it has, it is extremely frustrating just sort of seeing the results manifest themselves on paper. It was only a few months ago that the Vancouver Canucks were as bad in the league as in that top 8, top 7-ish realm of getting those first overall odds. But seeing the team win as much as they did towards the end of the year, seeing them win out in the last few games of the season, seeing everybody come back and start doing well, has really tanked the team's tanking. And I get it. You're not going to go out there and say that the players are trying to lose. That's never going to happen. But as it was talked about on Canucks Talk on Sportsnet 650 earlier last week, the Canucks did do a pretty good amount of bulk work when it comes to putting themselves in the best position to win. Playing Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes all the minutes they had, starting Thatcher Demko all the times they had done as well. Not to say that it's invaluable how these players were able to play and get their points and do their thing, but I'm just saying it made the team win games. And ultimately, it tanked their odds at getting Connor, and even though it's not guaranteed, you shouldn't be losing out games to try to get Connor Bedard because that's not guaranteed. Well, the thing is, even if you don't get Connor Bedard, you're still a few spots higher up in the draft than if you had won those games. There are a bunch of guys at the top of this year's draft, top 5, top 6, whoever, that could have been top 3 picks last year, that could have been top 2 picks even. You could have said they're better than Cooley, they're better than Simon Nemec or whatever. There are a lot of talented players in this year's selection of guys that I think it really was the year to try to get the highest odds possible, even if it didn't mean getting Bedard. Getting somebody like Michkov or getting somebody like Fantilli would have been great too. But the Vancouver Canucks are not in that position because they've dropped down all the way to 11. Again, there's still a chance, but it's not likely. What I also wanted to do was take a look at all the other draft lotteries that had taken place, aside from the ones where the last place team ended up winning, because that's kind of boring. Instead, we can go over to the 2017 draft, for example, the Nico Hischier draft, and see the odds for the teams that actually ended up winning. Here's a Wikipedia page for the 2017 draft. The first overall pick belonged to the New Jersey Devils, and they had themselves an 8.5% chance at getting first. Second overall was Philadelphia. They had a 2.4% chance at winning and getting that second pick. And then the third overall pick belonged to the Dallas Stars, 6.4% chance. So Philadelphia actually did do a pretty good job here in regards to the lottery odds. If you go over to the next season's worth of play, 2018, this is where things get a little bit interesting because 3.3% Carolina won the second overall pick, but the first overall Buffalo Sabres were projected to win because they had the highest odds in the first place. If you go over to 2019, this is the one that kind of pissed a lot of people off because New Jersey won yet another pick. Now, they were 11.5%, so they had a pretty significant chance, but Capo Caco and the Rangers, 7.8% chance. Chicago won Kirby Dach with a 3% chance on their draft lottery odds. So you could see that it does happen once in a while, where these teams that have lower odds end up winning. In 2020, it was a little bit different because there was a play-in round and everything. We're not really going to count that because there was a higher chance that the play-in series teams would get themselves the pick than all the other teams combined, I'm pretty sure. 2021 was a little different because they introduced a system of only having a lottery done for 2 picks rather than 3. So 16% Buffalo ended up winning first overall, Owen Power. 10.2% Seattle ended up winning second overall, Matty Beniers. And then you have yourselves last year, where Montreal had a 25% chance and they had won. So pretty significant numbers right here. Obviously, Anaheim has the best chance at getting Bedard, but it is possible that some of these other teams go out there and do some damage. It has happened in the past where a 2% or a 3% team wins a draft lottery, but back then, there were 3 lotteries to be done, and every one of the 1 to 16 eliminated teams could participate. Now, there's only 2 lotteries, and you can only move up 10 spots. So, even though the Canucks could be in contention for both first and second, the grand prize, Connor Bedard, they only have a 3% chance at doing so. And with the idea that the hockey gods have been so cruel to the Vancouver Canucks over the past few years, one may think that it's inevitable, right? They're gonna get the first overall pick somehow. They're gonna get it this year. They have to. Connor Bedard is from North Van. He loves the Canucks. He made an Instagram post about John Garrett's retirement the other day. Once he's a member of the Anaheim Ducks or the Coyotes or the Blackhawks or whatever, he can't do that anymore. He can't go out there and make any tribute posts liking the Canucks and their goals and whatnot. He can't do that. So, for Connor Bedard, it's a match made in heaven for this guy to play for his hometown team. It's just a statistical anomaly that is actually going to happen. And as a result, I don't really like that the Vancouver Canucks ended up winning all those games towards the end. I've been saying this the entire time. Hey, the wins are entertaining from a hockey point of view, like just watching the games, but man, they're tanking their Bedard odds. Now, there's a conversation to be had about the draft in general. Patrick Allvin said they could be prone to moving up and everything. We could talk about that at a later date, but this video has already been too long, so I didn't want to focus on that here. But either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about a 3% chance. That is the overall statistical profile of the Vancouver Canucks getting the first overall pick and drafting Connor Bedard. Even if they don't get Bedard, let's say they win second overall by some miracle, they get that pick and they take, I don't know, Adam Fantilli or whatever, Matvei Michkov or something, then cool, great. All these players are going to be good players, most likely, more definitely than not. They're going to be good players, it's just none of these guys are Connor Bedard. And I don't really know why I made this video, I just kind of wanted to get my frustrations off my chest. But either way, thoughts in the comment section below about the Canucks and their 3% lottery odds, thoughts on Connor Bedard and where you would want him to go the most. If it's any of the teams at the top of the draft like Anaheim, Columbus, Chicago, San Jose, Montreal even, then okay, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below why that is and why you would want him on your team. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.